All right, there are lots of theory what we discuss about it. Now jump to the practical stuff. So to start with the practical, I created couple of stuff already. If you open a portal, right? For me, I have created a resource group, RG Infra. That's a one resource group what I have created, and inside that I have created one storage account, which is completely blank right now. Like I haven't created anything in that storage account, just plain a storage account, and one virtual network. In the virtual network, as I created one small address space because just for this AVD tutorial purpose, I don't need higher IP range, so I just kept it 256 and one subnet for VMs, and I just kept it 16 IPs where 5 IPs are reserved by Azure, so 11 IPs are available. Right, that's sufficient for this tutorial. All right, now let's start creating the Azure Virtual Desktop. If you type Azure Virtual Desktop, it will show you on the first place. You can just click on it. The very first thing you have to do in Azure Virtual Desktop is create a host pool. Now, when we say host pool, that is the area where you will maintain all your application groups and workspace and your session host. Okay. So choose any of the subscription based on your requirement. If it is you are doing for your POC, you can choose dev or maybe prod, whatever subscriptions you have. Then resource group, I'll keep same RG AVD Infra. Host pool name, let's give quickly a host pool name, HP AVD 001. Let's keep the location East US 2. I'm just keeping everything in East US 2. So that as well. Now it says validation environment. I'll keep it no. There is no validation as such required. Preferred app group type is desktop or remote app. So as I said initially, you can choose as a desktop as a service or remote app as a service. So I'll keep the desktop as a service. Now host pool type. Host pool type having a two option, pooled or personal. So when you choose pooled, that means multiple users can access this desktop. And if you keep personal, that means one user at a time can access this desktop. Okay. So we will choose pooled here. That is the, that is the most wanted behavior normally when you create an AVD, that you need a pooled host. Then do you want to create a host session configuration? I said no. Let Azure handle it. Then load balancing algorithm, breadth first or depth first. Now what does that mean? If you go for breadth first, that means if you have two VMs running in a session, right, then if a user logged in and goes into VM1 and then another user come, right, then it will not go to VM1. What breadth first will do, that it will maintain the breadth equally into VMs. So if second user come, it will go to VM1, VM2. Then third user come, then it will go VM1. Fourth user come, it will go to VM2. So that means it will maintain the breadth for both the VMs. Now if you choose depth first, that means if user 1 logs in, it will go into VM1 and it will continue the same for the next users until the max number of sessions, which is the bottom one, will not fill. Let's suppose you kept it 5. So that means maximum 5 users can create a session. So in a depth first situation, if 5 users logged in, they will straight away to join VM1. And then when 6th user come, then it will go to VM2. Okay. So again, we choose breadth first so that it maintains the load. All right. Now going to the session host. Session host, as I said initially, virtual machines you can create right now, or maybe you can create later. So we will create right now, as it shows initially the resource group. Now it shows name prefix. Let's choose VMZ AVD N. In my initial videos, I told you the prefix, what I normally keep it. VM, again, you know that. Z is for Azure, AVD, whatever application or usage I'm keeping it, and N for development. If that there is a production work, I'll keep it P. Normally, this is what I choose. Then virtual machine type is Azure Virtual Machine. Virtual machine location, again, ECUS2. Right now, I don't need any availability zone. Security type, I'll keep trusted. Then image. Image, I can choose anything latest, Windows 11 Enterprise multi-session, so that multiple users can log in. 24H2. Or I'll keep it small because again, you understand it's a small tutorial video, which I don't want to keep it high. So I'll choose V4 would be sufficient, I guess, for 2 core. Yep. All right. Number of VMs, I'll keep it 2. That's more than sufficient to discuss about this quickly. So standard SSD, default size 128 GB. Everything is fine. Boot diagnostic, I don't need right now. Virtual network, I have already choose. So this one, subnet, network security type, public inbound boards. Right now I don't need, but yeah, we will require later on. So for now, I'll keep it no. Then yeah, this is the important part. Domain to join. Now there are two options, Active Directory and Microsoft Entra ID. So Active Directory, if you are running on-premises Active Directory or any AD locally in your VNet, right? For this tutorial, for now, we will keep it Microsoft Entra ID. That is your Azure Active Directory, right? So that you can choose, so that whatever users you have in your Azure Active Directory or Entra ID, that will be able to log in, and as well as join with the VM. Now choose your local username or password for. So I'll keep one username and one password for me. This again local user, local account as an admin account for those VMs. Let's suppose you want to install or open that VM, right? So that time it will need it. Now moving to the workspace, register desktop app or group. You say yes. Now there is no workspace by default, so create new. Quickly give a name. Works. I'll give a meaningful name, because this workspace name will be visible on the portal, on the browser. That's public web page given by Microsoft. I'll show you. So be bright session workspace. Click OK. Now click advance. No diagnostic needed. Tags and review plus create. All right, validation is done, and now I'll just quickly go through the settings what we have choose. So subscription, resource group, host pool name, location preferred, app group is desktop, host pool type pooled. Then create session host configuration no, max session limit 5, and breadth first, and all. Right, so you can see everything here. Now quickly click create. Now I'll pause the video and I'll come back whenever these VMs are created, because it will take some time. So we will connect again. Okay, so AVD has been created, and as you can see on the screen, it's showing all the configurations what we have done, right? The resource group, location, subscription, and all, host pool type, pool, and disk type. But one thing which went wrong is, see, the total machines created 2. You remember we choose that, but it's showing can't connect to. So if you quickly go on session host, where you created 2 machines, and see it's coming unavailable. These 2 machines are running but unavailable. That means if you click any of the machine and check what went wrong, see VM status, it's coming health check status, domain join check failed. That means that VM is not able to connect with the Entra ID, and there is no joining between VM and Entra ID. Now, normally if you face this sort of issue, in that case, first you have to check your Entra ID devices. And I found that in the past, I tested couple of times this AVD, and because of that, there were a lot of existing devices which were pending over there. What you have to do, you just need to select all those devices and you need to delete them, right? If if those devices are not in use. Yeah. So what is happening? Basically, I'm creating the same name device again. So maybe those 2 devices, I should say precisely. Right. So if you come here, just check what devices you are creating with, and if it is already there, just delete them and recreate these VMs. And just to recreate them, just delete both from remove, right? And click add to create them again. You have to fill all those settings again, but you can quickly create that. All right, so let me create quickly, and again, we will come back whenever things are ready. Okay, so we are back again. And after creating those 2 VMs, again, you can see this time it's showing total 2 machines and can connect to. And again, in the Entra ID, the devices, you can see the new devices has been registered with the name of 2 and 3. Okay. Now, just quickly go through a couple of things in the host pool which could be useful. So scaling plan, we haven't choose any scaling plan yet. So let's keep it as it is. If you go into RDP properties, here Microsoft Entra single sign-on. That's something you should enable it when you are giving users option to connect through Entra ID. So that's, you have to enable it. Click save. Now, if you come to the properties, these are the properties you choose while creating the virtual desktop. So personal desktop, no. That means multiple users can join with the same desktop. Preferred app group type is desktop, and also on. So this is same. So I'm not going to say or going through all the properties. Networking, for now we are just choosing the public network. That means those VMs are accessible over the web client. If you choose enable public access for end user, use private access for session host. That means you have to create some sort of VPN tunnel with your Azure Virtual Network where your session hosts VM are residing. Either you make a P2S connection for home users or site-to-site connection for a company, right? In that case, your web URL would be available, but when user will try to connect with the session host, they have to create that VPN connectivity. Okay, but we are not choosing right now this one. We will keep enable public access from all networks. Let's keep it simple. Quickly jump on the application groups. So we have one application group so far, which we talked about earlier, remember? So currently there is a default desktop application group where one application which is desktop available, and assignment, that means no user is assigned to this. So now currently no user can access this. So let's keep it as it is. Quickly we will assign one user, but before that let's check out other options as well. So if you click on session host, now you can see both VMs are available and both VMs are running, and that is what we were looking. Let's quickly go through a couple of options here. If you go on the top, you understand all this, so I'm not going to repeat those. Now turn drain mode on. That means whenever you want to deploy something or install something in particular VM, and during that deployment or installation you don't want a user to log in, right, from the web browser coming on the desktop. So what you do normally, you just select that VM, click turn drain mode on. So that means if any user is logged in, he will log out, and as well as no new user can log in during that time. All right, and rest is stopping those VMs. All right, if you go inside of that particular VM, here from you can see all those status check are green. There is no current user logged in, so there is no session is visible here. Fine. Couple of options here as well, like notify user. If you select any user, you want to notify something, you want that user forcefully sign out or force sign out, so these options are there. Now quickly try to go on the website where from you can connect this virtual desktop. So here's this remote desktop web client. This is the URL you have to remember, client.wvdmicrosoft.com. This is the public URL given by Microsoft. So simply you can just enter this and you will get this page. Currently there is no workspace assigned to this user, so it's coming blank. So let's quickly do the settings. First we'll go to the Microsoft Entra ID and let's create a security group. Let's quickly go into the group. Generally you can do for one user as well, but it is recommended that you always create a security group first, so that all the users who are coming, right, to join this, you have to just enter that user into a security group. Okay, so let's create a new group type security, give it a name. All right, let's keep the name AVD user for Be Bright session. And group description, you can just keep it as it is. And membership type assigned, so that means you can assign. No owner selected. Let's keep one user. Keep the name for Deepak, bebrightsession.com. Select. And let's keep the same user as a member as well. Quickly search for that. Now there are lots of Deepak. Let's just select this one. Select and create. So user has been created. Now couple of more settings you have to do that to assign AVD for this group. First, quickly go home. I was showing you that application groups. Quickly open that. You can open this. You can go for assignments. You can click add and look for that group AVD users. Here is the group AVD users for Be Bright session. Select. Security group is added. Now just to give those users who are in this security group to access to open those session host VM, one small thing you have to do as well. That's something you can do either on those specific VMs. And what is that? That you have to give RBAC, right? For these VMs. And what RBAC is, that role is virtual machine administration login and virtual machine user login. These two RBAC settings you have to do on these VMs. Rather than going into individual VMs, I normally prefer resource group. So I click on resource group, go on access control, click on add role assignment. Just type virtual machine administration login. Here it is, virtual machine administrator login. Just select next, select member, choose your security group, AVD users, select AVD users for BWrite session, select review plus assign, and same thing you have to do one more role, which is virtual machine user login. Select next, select member, go for AVD user for BWrite session, select review plus assign, and that's it. So now whatever users are in that security group are ready to access those session hosts. So let's quickly check that. Go in this web URL, click refresh, and here's the magic. See, BWrite session workspace. That workspace we have given earlier while creating the Azure Virtual Desktop. Now it's visible and it's showing the desktop application group, which is session desktop. Let's click that. It will check your enter ID credentials. Maybe it can ask again. If it asks, you can define again. But it is automatically signed in. It's just asking that I am going to allow remote desktop connection for AVD N2. I say yes. And we are inside the VM. All right. Now, as this VM is coming up first time, so maybe it will ask to select couple of stuff initially. Let it open. Everything is skipped, and now we are on the desktop. So let's verify that. Click on home, click on host pool, click on session host. Let's verify that user if that is coming here. Yeah, see, so AVD N2 total sessions 1. So that means that user is logged in. So as an administrator, behind the scene, you can verify that what user is logged in and what session host, he has created the session. So see, the username is coming here and that is active. So that means that is currently logged in and working. Now, if you want, maybe as I told you earlier, you can select and you can just sign out or force sign out. Okay.